Hey everybody, this is Trisha Sheehan. Welcome to Functional Essential Oil Education. I'm thrilled that you're here. I definitely encourage you to watch this full video. I think it will really help you understand what this group is about, what to expect, how to use this group. We are going to be using something called units, and so I want to make sure that you're aware of how that works. So if you can put distractions aside for just a few minutes and take a watch of this video, I think it will really help you get the most you can possibly get out of this group and really understand how it's all going to work. So first of all, thank you for being here. I'll just really briefly introduce myself and explain how this group got birthed. So my name is Trisha Sheehan. My background is actually in business and marketing. I have an MBA. And I've worked many years for an environmental consulting company. My specialty was communications and project management. And then when I got my MBA, I focused on marketing and strategy. And I also did a self-designed study in sustainability and really looking at how businesses can, operate in a way that's profitable, but also environmentally friendly and pays fair wages and, doing all the right things so that everyone can win. And founded a student organization focused on that topic. So it's very near and dear to my heart. I also worked for a consumer products manufacturer. I helped run that business. It was smoke alarms, carbon monoxide alarms, and also I worked a little bit with water filters and some other products. I was able to sit in on sales meetings at Target, Home Depot, True Value, Costco, and some others. And then I also worked for an online retailer. So I will, occasionally bring in my business background, my business understanding to this group to help you understand a little bit on the business sides of things with essential oils. That certainly will not be the focus of this group, but just know that is my background if you have questions. And I'm able to dispel a lot of myths because of my background. So I will bring that to you guys as well. But I got into the health space when my oldest son was just a baby and he was experiencing really severe eczema, mostly on his cheeks and behind his knees. And he would just scratch at it. It would bleed all the time and he never slept. And it was awful. And the pediatrician didn't know what was going on, why it was happening. He was so little and really didn't have any solutions. She gave me a cream that I could put on for 2 days and I had to stop because it thinned out the skin. She suggested a bleach bath might work, and I just couldn't do it. Just something about that, the red flag went up, but I couldn't watch him suffer. And so like any of you, when you have a loved one who's suffering, you don't accept that there's no help for them. So I went on a mission to learn as much as I could. I learned a lot about food and environmental toxins and drugless remedies. And we did end up curing his eczema. And it was just a real eye-opening experience. And I became really passionate about the fact that it's your right and everyone's right to know every option available to you when it comes to your health. And unfortunately, conventional doctors are only trained in some things. They're not trained in everything. And there's some things that they don't bring to us because they're not educated in it themselves. So there's the conventional or allopathic model, and then there's also the functional or holistic model. The difference is that the functional model looks at a person as a whole person. So instead of, going in and saying, I'm having a lot of fatigue and brain fog, and they are, looking up here because it's brain related, a functional practitioner will look at your entire body because all of your systems are interconnected. And, the problem might actually be in your gut versus up in your head. And so they look at everything and kind of puzzle piece together what's the true root cause of what's going on for you. And so this group is all about how can essential oils be a part of that functional whole body, whole person approach. There's a lot of puzzle pieces when it comes to our health. And it's about your food, your sleep, your movement, your joy, your community, your relationships, your lifestyle. There's a lot of different components to it, and essential oils are one of those components. It's certainly not everything. But a lot of you are here because you've either personally experienced part of essential oils or it just all makes sense to you and you want to learn more. So this is going to be a great group for that. I will be providing some of the basic foundational knowledge. So if you are just getting started, we got you covered, don't worry. But if you have been using oils for a while and you're ready just for the deeper dive, we have you covered as well. And this is how it's going to work. So I'm going to have units set up. And if you're not familiar with units in Facebook, you just go to our group and go on the left side. You'll see the word units. You click on that and everything is organized. So you can find exactly what you're looking for without having to scroll through the feed or only use the search function. So you can go to, get started, you can go to basics, you can take a deeper dive. You just want to spend some time learning some of the science, you want to dig through some testimonials, you can go to write exactly what you need. You're probably used to just following the feed, which you can do as well, but I just really want to make sure you know that the unit section is there and, could be a better way to go depending on what you're trying to get out of this group. If you're just following the feed, most of it's going to be a little more advanced because that's what most people are here for. Occasionally, I will provide some basics in the feed as well. But if you're looking for the basic foundational information, your best bet is to go to that unit. And every time I make a new post, I will tag it to its appropriate unit. This is a newer group. And so I really, really want you guys to ask your questions, make comments on the post. I want you to see this as a community. And the more that you all are involved, the better it will be for everyone. If you have a question about something, somebody else will have that same question. There's no dumb questions. There's no question that's too basic to ask. Whatever you need, just go ahead and ask it. And if you know the answer to someone else's questions, please chime in and ask. This is definitely not only for me to be answering questions. And sometimes there's a topic that's very nuanced. It's not black and white. And so there's different opinions about it. And so I might have one opinion and somebody else has another opinion, and that is awesome. So go ahead and jump in and say what you think or what you know or what your experience has been. You might be able to say, this is what I see with my customers or clients. And that is great. So feel free to do that. I really want this to feel like a community space. And sort of on that note, all interactions must be very respectful and positive and free of judgment. If there is any disrespectful behavior, that person will not be in the group anymore. I have a really low tolerance for that, I suppose I'll say. I don't expect have any issues with that whatsoever. Even in my health coaching collaborations group where I have over 3,000 people, it's very rarely an issue. But I just want to put it out there to let you all know that that's super, super important to me, that we can all have discussions and debates and we don't all have to agree on things. And that is okay. But we do always have to be very respectful and professional towards one another and have a lot of grace. This is not a space for judging or fighting. It's for healthy, productive, positive debate and discussion. Okay, so that's how that will work. This group is great for a variety of different people. It's great for health coaches who are working with clients and really want to either be able to answer their questions that they have about essential oils, or provide your own education about essential oils, or perhaps it's actually a part of your business model and some of your revenue comes from essential oils. All of those things work. And if you need help thinking through how oils fit into your business model, I can help with that as well. There's many different ways to do it. It's also great for wellness advocates who just feel like they need more education. Depending on what team you're on, you may not be getting a ton of education. If the person you enroll with is doing it more as a hobby, maybe they're not spending a lot of time educating. This is a resource for you to fill in that gap. Or maybe the education you're getting you feel like is great, but it's a little basic and you're ready for something deeper. Or maybe you just want content that's been sort of filtered through my lens. Since I am a health coach, I also have that business experience. I attended the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, the Institute for Nutritional Leadership, and I'm a certified essential oil coach through the Essential Oil Institute, where I studied under Dr. Josh Axe. I've also worked for him and gotten a great opportunity to ask him sort of off the record one-on-one questions about essential oils and to get his direct, opinion on it, because obviously we can publicly talk about oils in a certain way and using very compliant language, and so I just have had the opportunity to ask him sort of, in a more casual terms, his thoughts on some things. So my goal here is to be of great value to you. Most of what I will be sharing with you will be curated. What that means is I'm constantly learning and looking. I'm following different doctors or different other practitioners and learning from all of them. What I like to do is on a topic, look at what multiple people have to say and kind of compare it. Where do they agree? Where do they disagree? Because there's a lot of areas where it's not black and white. So I will cull through all of that and sort of bottom line it for you guys, but just know that that's what I'm doing. I have a giant textbook from the Essential Oil Institute that I reference. I have a book called Essential Oils, Chemistry of Essential Oils Made Simple. I have Tisserand's book. I have Modern Essentials. I have The Essential List. So I'm looking in a lot of places and just constantly trying to learn and bring to you the best of the best. And so some of it will be sort of filtered through my lens of kind of doing this for a long time and knowing what I'm talking about. And some of it will be purely curated, and I'll share with you directly from Dr. Fawcett or Dr. X or Dr. Zielinski or Dr. Esquera or some other people. So it will be, that's how it works. And so just know that if things, the science is starting to really roll in quickly on essential oils. So if there's something that needs to be updated because the new science has come out, I will provide that to you guys as best I can. This is a somewhat doTERRA specific group. Just want to make sure you know that. A lot of what I'll provide is generic information about essential oils that can apply no matter what brand you're using, but a bunch of it is specific to doTERRA, and here's why. doTERRA is the brand that I use on myself and my clients. So it's the brand that I know a ton about. I have not delved as deeply into the other brands. When I was choosing what brand to work with, I did research at that time and just felt very strongly that doTERRA was the right fit for me. But I do not continuously update on other brands. I do a little bit, but I really don't want to teach about other brands because I don't feel like I can expertly speak about those brands. And we'll talk about why the brand is very important, because it's a quality issue. And these oils are so strong and they're so therapeutic. And that doesn't have to be a scary thing at all. But what it does mean is that quality matters. And I would never want you to, take a lesson you learned from this group and use an oil and then be injured by that oil because it was from Marshall's or Walmart or something, and it really was not the product you thought it was. So if you use another brand, that is totally cool. Just know that this is a doTERRA focus group, and most people here are with doTERRA. We will not be getting into brand wars in this group. So that's how that will work. If you have never used doTERRA oils, you've never got an account with them, I'd love to help you with that. We can get you started so that you can actually have the oils on hand that we'll be talking about, and just contact me and I'll get you all set up. The oils are amazing, and what most people say is they smell a difference. They've used other things and then they use doTERRA. It smells differently to them, so they can tell the difference and they feel the difference. So definitely try them if you haven't. Okay, a little bit more about how this group will work. No PMing people or private messaging people who did not ask you to do so. So if there's a discussion in the group and you want to take it over to private message, you need to get their permission. Say, may I private message you? Please do not reach out to people without their permission. That's just sort of a common courtesy thing. Also regarding when you're trying to sell something, this is not a sales group. So if you joined with the intent of selling something, this won't be a good fit. The intent here is to learn. If you do have something to sell, that's not a bad thing. But just here, this is how it will work. if you have something you'd like to sell to the group, let's just talk about it and make sure that it's something that would be of real value to the group. I'm not at all against bringing to the group awesome, tools or done for yous or a variety of resources. There's things that sometimes we can buy them and they make our life better, easier, more efficient or whatnot. So if you do have something like maybe you offer, some people offer like a done for you program or graphics or who knows what, business tools. Let's just talk about it. And if it makes sense, we can offer it to the group. You may cancel any time. Right now the group is set up with a monthly fee. I'm hoping that that will work. If it becomes too much of an administrative nightmare, I might have to go to 6-month chunks or even annual. But for right now, I just think that monthly is just so doable for you guys. I'm gonna try to make it happen. So once you pay for that month, there's no refunds because it's a digital offering and all of the content is available to you right away. So there's no refunds, but you may cancel anytime. What you want to do is be on the lookout for PayPal invoices from me every month. So you'll want to make sure they're not going to spam. So maybe mark your calendar and just be on the lookout for that. And so if they're not paid within a week, you'll be removed from the group. So just know that that's not a personal thing. Before too long, I'm probably going to be having an admin person do this. So it's not at all personal. Don't feel like she took me out of the group. She doesn't like me. No, it may not even be me doing it. I just going to have somebody look at who's paid and who's unpaid. And if an account goes delinquent, then that person just has to come out. So it's just like an administrative logistic thing. You are welcome to pay and come back in. So I know life happens, and so we're just going to do the best we can with this. Okay, so that's that. And again, this is a newer group, so I really hope that you'll give feedback or even provide suggestions. Hey, could we do some content on this or that? Or I'm still a little confused about something. Can we review it again? That kind of a thing. There will be some content that I'll probably repeat because it's really good or really useful, or you guys said it really helped you, and so I'll repeat it, every 3 months or something like that. I'm going to be bringing in guest speakers. The first one who has committed is Dr. Eric Zielinski, and so I'm really excited about that. And I also may bring in speakers on like a business topic or something, we'll see how it goes as things come up. But if I feel like there's something that would be valuable to you guys, I want to bring it to you. So that will be my goal. And you can, as far as the business side of things, if you're not interested in learning the business stuff, you can just tune that stuff out. That's what I really like about Facebook, is you can get what you need and disregard the rest. And likewise, if you feel like, oh my gosh, some of this content is like really challenging, or it's like it's too advanced, that's okay too. You can leave it and come back to it. I don't want you to ever feel overwhelmed, but the point of this group is that little bit of a deeper dive. So just take what you need. And if you're just beginning, some of it might seem overwhelming. Oils do not need to be overwhelming. Really, at the end of the day, you can always come back to your basics. There's a basic set of oils and 3 ways to use them. And you just have to get into a habit with them. And it can really be very straightforward and simple. And typically with clients or customers, it's going to be pretty simple. So it's very easy to educate other people about oils, and you don't have to have all this advanced training to do it. This is just for people who want that and are ready to dive deeper and ready to go to another level. But I'm so glad you're here. I'm really excited to be of service to you guys and love on you guys and take my passion for oils and really put them to good use. I really believe that there's so much healing that needs to take place in the world, and there's these health epidemics that are not receiving a lot of attention, and people are hurting, and people are realizing that the conventional solutions don't always work or may have side effects that are undesirable. And not that conventional medicine doesn't have its place, because it does, but people deserve to know every option available to them. And natural solutions can be a fantastic resource. They can be cost effective. They work so well. There's no side effects. There's no addiction. There's just so many upsides. And I think that we need to not be afraid to tell people about this, because people are starting to realize this isn't voodoo, witchcraft, hippy dippy stuff. Like, this is legit and it works. And you only need a couple drops at a time, and it's literally pennies per drop. So let's not be afraid to be on a mission to share this message with, our tribes and our communities, because people do need it. So there's a huge market for it, and the growth of this industry is insane. And so that just shows you that this is helping people, it's working for people, and there's a real need for education. So I'm really looking forward to this adventure with you guys, and I look forward to getting to know all of you. If you'd like to invite other people to join us, that would be amazing. I'd be so appreciative. And there are links in the group for how to do that, or just message me anytime. Take care, and I'll see you in the group.